Oh, great. It's nice to see all of you again. It feels like it's a long time ago now. Is it 1.5 months, more or less? But today we will like focus more on practical information because as we have agreed before, we try to not go through these kind of things when we meet. When we meet at the annual partnerships meeting, we would like to exchange as much as possible and learn about the hub or the place we visit. So today we will go through a lot of things that's going on in the project, both at activity level and talk about deliverables, but also look into activities coming up this autumn and also next year. And as usual, also talk a little bit about reporting, give you some information and head-ups connected to that. And in the end, we'll just summarize anything and give you kind of a checklist to work further with. But before we start, we have a check-in activity. So I'd like you to be ready with like reactions. You know, all know that you can give like a thumbs in the reaction. Everyone can try it. Let's give a thumbs. Thumb. Does it work for you? Oh, most of you, great. So I will give you a few questions, and if you agree, then put or on the thumbs. So thumb up if you already had your first cup of coffee or tea this morning. Not everyone, but most partners. And thumb up if you are a morning person. Maybe half, or no, more than half of the people. Good that we organize these kind of meetings before lunch then.
Marcelo is asking you to define morning as a concept.
Yeah, for this morning. That's actually an interesting point. And thumbs up if you already have plans for summer vacation. Maybe half of you, huh? Maybe that's something we could come back to later and talk about what people are going to do. Okay, and now connected to the project. Thumbs up if you feel confident about upcoming milestones and activities in the SIRR project. Not some other. Maybe half of the people are good that we have this meeting today then, where we'll go through all these kind of things and hopefully all of you feel confident after the meeting. And the last one, thumb up if you feel ready to tackle this meeting. Woo! Yeah, let's start. And Dottie, raising your hand on Michael, yay! Great. I turned a little bit around in the agenda compared to the digital partnership meeting we had in December. As most of you know, we try to have this meeting. We have these kind of meetings 2 times a year. But I will start to just give you a head up about the activities coming up. And then after that, I will give the floor to the work packet leaders to go through activities coming up and outputs and strategies. But as you already know, there will be a lot of focus on deliverables now in the project. We have 1.5 years left, actually less than 1.5 years. So the upcoming year, 6 or 12 months, we will focus a lot on to deliver the things we have to deliver in the project. And as you know, we already started with the action plans. You will hear more about that within soon. But you have the wrap-up session coming up now in June. And also, we have done it 2 times before, I think. We plan to also organize hub pitches also this year in September. And if we follow the same logic or the same structure as before, but we will give you some other questions. And I will send you placeholders or calendar invitations within soon. but it will be in September, as you can see, the 29th and 13th. And please reach out if there is one of these dates that you're not available. So I will do my best to fix the schedule. But as usual, we want you to share what has happened this year so far, and share some highlights with us. And also, we would like you to present your action plans in September, and also talk a little bit about long-term perspective of your hub, and also impact for your local society. Compared from when we start the project, like what had happened and what do you think will come up? We have also planned for a series of presentation and talks to continue with, and the first one will be in the end of August. We have invited the storytelling team, Kenneth and Filippa, to share some or their experience based on the storytelling workshops we have had within the project. So I hope you can attend. We have already also set a date for the next digital partnership meeting. It will be in December. And we have the final annual conference, partnership conference in April, as you know already, in Skagen. But we also listened to your input after the conference we had in Lesa, that most of you or all of you wanted to meet one more time before the final conference. And Lysekil raised their hand and offered to host this additional partnership meeting. And I know it could be like tricky maybe for some people to make sure you are able to come. But we found a week that worked out for Lysekil and also for the work package and management group. And it will be in week 48 in November. So between the 24th and 27th, we are still discussing if we will have it until or Tuesday to Thursday or Wednesday until Friday, and we are open for your suggestions. But this partnership meeting is not mandatory, but of course we hope to meet all of you there. And there is the budget for it within the project budget. And also when we looked into all of the partners' budgets, it looks like most of the partners have budget left for this activity. But as usual, the partners pay for accommodation and food themselves, and we will share more information about this event soon. But focus areas will be what happens after the SIRR project, and also we will focus on the focus areas of Lysekil, of course, so marine businesses, ocean, and some communication. But there will be some more information within soon about this event. But that's what's coming up, and we're really looking forward. So thank you, Lysekil, for raising your hand. And also we're discussing maybe to do some additional study visits and these kind of things if it's interest, but then reach out and reach out to us and we can have a look at it. And today, if there are any questions during the meeting, just raise your hand and we take it from there. But great. We will look or continue with the work packages. As you know, we have 3 of them, work package 1, 2, and 3. So I will give the floor to the work package leaders, and they will go through activities coming up, outputs, and strategies, and also share a status to you about where we stand. So Charlotte, you start and just let me know when you would like me to change the slide.
Yes, good morning, everybody. I need to sing up or whatever it's called. Yes, VP1. So the deliverables and the parts of the packages are the same continuously. That's been before as well. So it's develop hubs and remodel the structures for long-term multi-helix inclusion. So how will we be able to work with multi-helix now and in the future? And there is one action plan. You can have several that is connected to this one. And then we also have hub meetings one-on-one that me and Emma has booked, I think, with the most partners, or with everyone, Emma? Yeah. So connected to one with the development and remodel of the hubs. Coming up is mostly the action plans to start, get them structured and fill in the form and feel confident that you know what you're doing, and then to start implementing. And then we have these hub meetings where you can ask for assistance about the action plans if you need it, but mostly we will talk about the hub development so far, about the progress within your organization and the work you do connected to the multiple helix. And this is also giving us information on your status, on areas to work on forward, but also particularly to get information for the joint report that's due in this 1.1 area of VP1. So in this coming dialogue meetings we have, you have a room for asking about the action plans, but then we will give you some questions during the meeting. We will not send you questions ahead because we want it to be more spontaneously, and it's relaxed, and you don't have to worry. We've had one talk so far, and it turned out really good, and we think it's a good thing that you are not really too prepared about the question, but we do it as it goes. And then there's 1.2, which is identify and visualize the innovation ecosystem and communicate strategically with it. And again, there's an action plan and actions connected to this one. And that is also, both of these, of course, have the strategies. I will talk to you a little bit more about this coming on in the next slides. I think some of you are still not sure what this action plan work and so on is how it's set up and how we expect it to work. So I will go through that a little bit today. But also connected to the 1.2, we have the need, or the reporting indicators that we would like you to communicate on and about the innovation ecosystem, and that is a wide topic. So don't think too narrow, but most of you have sent in one, but there are a few hubs that has not still reported one. So I will reach out to you and help you. I've looked up at your communication and I see a few that we could probably use, but also I would like you to, during the summer, if you have an event or anything until the next reporting, start to think that if you don't have one naturally coming, you should take the opportunity to communicate about it. And if you are not sure, we can help you and assist you with that. And I will come back to that a little bit also later in the slides. And then, of course, you can continue to work on the transformation canvas and its tools, and that is to help you sort through the different workshops we've had and focusing on different parts of your organization for developing. And again, if you don't feel confident or you don't feel that you understand it, but you would like to use it, just reach out. And as Emma mentioned, on the 16th of June, we have the wrap up for the action plan session, and we do not expect you to be 100% ready, but that is an extra session where we hope that you can, actually, Emma, you can change to the next slide. Where we hope that you can present where you are right now, and maybe if you feel that you need some input, you can get some inspiration on and learn how the others done it, or we could also give you feedback during these sessions. And it's 10 minutes per hub, so 5 minutes presentation, and then 5 minutes where we can discuss if you want some inputs. And we don't really know how fast this will all go, but the idea is that we do 4 hubs, have a break, and then 4 hubs again. And before this, if you want to, of course, contact me. a few hubs has, and that I think made them come forward in the work. So you can change slide, Emma. Yeah, the content for the presentation will be sent out to you ahead, but I would like you to let us know a few of the different blocks of the plan, and you don't have to show both. If you don't want to, you can choose to take one and we focus on that one, but these things that I've stated here is the ones that I would like to present. Like the goal statement and what is the challenge or the gap that the action addresses, why it's important, territorial scope, what is the focus of this action, what will it have, what do you hope that it will have impact on, and I would also like to know who will be the beneficiaries of this, and also added value of the action in terms of deepening the multiple helix approach. But there will be an email sent out for this one. So this is the things we would like you to present on the 16th of June. Yeah, next slide. Or again, if anybody has a question about this, just raise your hand and we'll address it. Yeah, so this is again a little bit more developed plan or scheme for how we work from strategies to actions. And we showed you quite shortly the strategies, which is a collection of the different outputs, you could say, through the projects and the framework and the typology and so on that VP3 has been working on. And from those takeaways we all have on the hub individual level, you can use the transformation tool to understand where are the gaps, where would we like to focus on the action plans. And from that, we have the actual action plan template, and that will be one template per strategy connected to each strategy, one for remodel the multiple helix for long time multiple helix use, and also connecting to the innovation ecosystem, which I presented before shortly. And I will now, after this, also show you the action plan a little bit more further, but this is the process. And once we have the action plans in place, and we don't have to start to work on them all at the same time, and this is a template, so you can of course add more during the fall and so on. But what we need to report to Interreg is that you have started to implement, that is started to not only put it on paper, but actually putting operation on it. And that is the result indicator. I know there's a lot of words for all this reporting, but we would like you to acknowledge in the beginning that you have started at least on one action connected to strategy 1.1, the remodel for multiple helix, and started implementing or working on one of the actions connected to the strategy 1.2, connect to the innovation ecosystem. And also I know they are a bit similar, so again, just reach out if you feel insecure on the differences. Next slide, Emma. And I would like to say, I'm talking about two strategies, but as we also said before, there is also one strategy in VP3. However, we started with these two, and then we are adding on the next strategy once we have started to work this, so there won't be too much at the same time, but Alistair will go through that later.
It's complicated enough, so let's go step by step.
Yeah. So again, strategy to action. In the action plan template, you have these points, and the strategic objective is the long-term achievements you seek to accomplish. And it's probably connected to your vision. It would be good if it is. So that is the long-term big strategic objective. And there you have also a goal statement where we would like you to think about how can you measure this? How can you see if there is a success or not? Have you reached your goal? And then there's the actual action plan. So the first steps are really to understand or put down on paper from the whole view, the vision, the objective, and then to the action. And then in the action plan, you can have several goals. You don't have to, but you can. We need you to have at least one goal, you could say, because we need one action plan from each activity. But you could, of course, do different goals, but you could also have several strategic objectives. So the template is a little bit flexible. You can use it in, I would say, 3 ways, but let's not complicate it. So action plan, you have 3 goals that you state, probably at least one, and under each goal you can have several actions. You can have one action, but you maybe want to do several things to make sure that this goal is reached. And so I made an example here, for instance, strengthening the hub's role as a meeting platform. And then you slice it down, or take it in steps and break it down and map key beneficiaries and their needs, organize quarterly multiple helix meetings, and create a communication plan. That is what I see needs to be taken in action to reach this goal. And next step, Emma, next slide. Here again are the templates. They're very small, at least they're not fuzzy, I hope. I just wanted to remind you how they looked, and what I was just mentioning is the middle slide, where there is on 1.4 is the goals, and then you can see that multiple helix action under goal 1.1. So you can have actions, so you copy and paste, but you could, of course, only have one action as well. So you can use it in 2 ways, you could say. And then the next slide, Emma. Yeah. Any questions about the action plans first? Of course, because I would like to go through this now, so you can get some work done until the 16th, because then from the 16th until in the September it needs to be done. So take the opportunity to take these steps. So please ask us during today if there's anything right now that you feel insecure about, or contact us afterwards or me. So reporting, this is a repetition of the slide from the last DPM. And again, we need you to communicate, as I was saying. There's 2 communication initiatives on, like, things you do connected to your eco-innovation system, and that is really the actors you work with. So probably the most things you do that is connected to stakeholders or beneficiaries or so on. But then also one about the eco-innovation system, and we will come back to the innovation system, innovation ecosystem this fall. So there will be more possibilities to talk about it. But if you have a meeting, you could always make a Facebook content about how the meeting went, that it happened, who was there, and why you did it, and so on. Then that would be a check in the box. Yeah, so here are some examples that if you co-host a workshop, for instance, where you focus on some of your challenges or strength, or showcasing your work connected to rural transformation, or sustainable or social sustainability, and so on. All of you work with these kind of questions and challenges, so I'm sure there will be something interesting to communicate, and take this as an opportunity to actually communicate about it. And of course, it doesn't have to be social media content. It could be news on the web, or it could be a newsletter, or a poster, or whatever you do, or information about a workshop to more than one. That is also communication. I think that was my last slide. Was it, Emma?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was your last slide. Any questions to Charlotte? Everything clear? Great, Charlotte.
Not a question, maybe just a comment. And I think you mentioned it already now, Charlotte, that I think I have a feeling that some of our partners sometimes struggle a little with interpreting what is really this innovation ecosystem. And I think it's important to stress that in many, many cases, it's the stakeholders we already work with. It's nothing very formalized that it needs to be part of something governmental or regional or whatever. Innovation actors can be on all levels. And when I see the activities in the hubs, a lot of these activities are in relation with innovation actors at different levels. So it's not as complicated as it sounds. We already do it. We just need to have this little twist in the brain to say, now when we work with these and this university or these partners from a cluster, then we are reaching out to the innovation ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Great. And we will come back to it this fall also, because I feel that we need to address it a little bit more to feel that we have worked through that part of the work package, since we did not have the workshop in February, March, I think. And so we are looking into how to work with it in a progressive, productive, useful way for you. So thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Charlotte, again. And yeah, we continue with work package 2 and Michael.
Yes, thank you. And hi, everyone. I will try to keep this relatively short, but it's still with the same focus as Charlotte had, that we are looking into the last year where we have the possibility to make our deliverables both at activity level, but of course also the results and the outputs. So if you change the slide, Emma, then first of all of you just keep up the good work. What we have already been doing now for many years adds to the value, and I believe and I hope that now we are there where we usually arrive when we have these projects, that now we start to understand what it is we're really doing. So hopefully we can also speed up some of the deliverables here towards the end of the project. So a lot of what's in front of us is what you could call business as usual. We need to continue having these activities around our hubs. We need to work with our stakeholders. We need to reach out to them. We need to have meetings and workshops and build up relations to our local stakeholders. But doing that, we also still need to have the focus on these activity indicators. I know we all love indicators, and we need to keep the focus on them. And talking about indicators, if you look into the OMS system, you will see that we have reached the goal for activity indicator for best practices. But that doesn't mean that we need to stop the good work, because I still believe we have many good examples from our everyday life that we could share with others and others could learn from them. So if you have new best practices, new good examples, please keep them coming, work on them too. And then kind of the main focus now from my part this day is that we do actually need your help still also with some of these indicators. So next slide, please, Emma. And I know you have seen this maybe hundreds of times, but again, I think maybe also when I look into your reports in the OMS system, then I do believe that we sometimes think it's more complicated than it really is. So this activity 2.2 with identifying local multi-helix stakeholders, networks, and work groups, it's in my world, it's pretty simple because it's what we actually do every day. And when I read your reports, when I look back to the hub pictures, there's a lot of funny and interesting activities going on at all hubs. But when it comes to reporting, we sometimes tend to forget that a lot of that work could also end up at being indicators in this activity. And it doesn't need to be very complex. Just every time you identify and maybe meet with stakeholders in your local area, write 3-4 lines. Who was it? What type of organization? What helix or what sector could these stakeholders belong to? And what was the reflection or the outcome of this meeting? It doesn't need to be more or deeper than that. So we are still a little behind with this indicator. And I believe that it's not because we didn't have the meetings or the identification processes. It's because we tend to forget what we actually do in our everyday life when we get to the reporting. So please keep this in mind. And I promise you, like we now did with report number 6, that Emma and I will also keep an eye on this and maybe reach out to you when we read your reports, and will maybe also ask you to clarify if some of the activities you described could also be part of this identification process of multi-helix stakeholders. And the same goes for activity 2.3. So if you change the slide, again here, it doesn't necessarily need to be networks or processes that you are yourself 100% responsible for. But if you have kind of identified stakeholders in your local area that participate with other multi-helix stakeholders in innovation processes of one kind or of another, or they constitute networks where they work on a specific topic, then it's quite okay also to report that as an indicator for 2.3. Martin, yes. This idea of having people coming together is kind of at the core of what we do in our projects. So I believe we have many good examples where we have, as hubs, maybe initiated or has been supporting different kinds of local networks doing interesting things in our local communities. And again, the only documentation we need is a short description, what kind of stakeholders were there, representing maybe different sectors or different helixes. And then a few reflection on what it means, maybe also for the local community, what's the potential for further development. But it doesn't need necessarily to be something that you as a hub is responsible for. Yes, Emma.
Yeah, this is good. Good information, Michael, and an update, but maybe you can also give maybe an indicator of approximately how many indicators or how many indicators you would like each partner and hub to report on in report number 7 in activity 2.2 and 2.3, just to get an indicator what we expect from each partner to reach the target we have in the project.
But if you just try to look at the target number of 50 from the beginning, that was 5 per hub. So if you never reported any of this, if you this time can have maybe 2 or 3, I think we will be good on the way. But the target, but this is a little different because here we expected 15 per hub, and that's because we thought that it would be quite easy to look out in your local ecosystem and find potential stakeholders that maybe some of them you already have relations to, but you never saw them as multi-helix stakeholders from this aspect. So it doesn't necessarily need to be somebody that you have never ever seen before. But if you haven't reported them into this system and you now maybe see them in a different perspective with a different relation for you as a hub, then it's also quite fine to register here. So I wouldn't say that you need to deliver a specific number, but I am pretty sure that all of us will be able to register more than we have done already now. Yeah, Louise.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering if we could have like an update on the amount that's been registered so far. Like we did a few, was it last year? I think maybe we got like an overview.
Yeah.
That would be really nice.
You have one,
Yeah.
Emma, an
Yeah.
overview of all the indicators, and it's also in Teams.
Yeah, we can share that with you, with all of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take next slide, Emma.
Next slide.
Because we also need your help in this. This is maybe a little more easy, and we already also have reported a few things here. And I think it's a little same also as Charlotte mentioned before with communicating to and with the eco-innovation system. I'm also sure that we already now spread a lot of knowledge and learning and experiences from what we do at top level. And I'm very sure also when you meet with different stakeholders in your local area, whenever you explain to them of the SIRR project, what we are doing, what we have had of different activities, again, describe the activity. If you made a presentation somewhere, save the presentation and report that as a communication initiative. So we can reach this target too. I'm not so concerned about this one because we already have a few, and we will also be able to reach the number if we just remember what we are actually doing and put it into this indicator. Next slide, Emma. So now it's getting maybe a bit more tricky because we also have some obligations for results and output indicators. And the way this system works, it's an obligation for us to prove by signing a document that we have worked with and taken up different solutions or maybe upscale them in our organizations. And this is typical Interreg gibberish. And of course, I know that by signing a paper, you will never be able to prove what you actually learned from being part of this project. However, it is something we need to do. And we need to do it per hub. And Emma and I have worked on the document, and you see to the right an example. It still needs some polishing, but this is the general idea that all hubs will have this checklist or menu or whatever you can say, and say we participated in this and this activity and tried out this and this solution, this tool, this approach, whatever. So if you did that, check the box, and on page 2, or maybe we can keep it in one page, then you sign that you actually implemented this at your hub and you have used it in your organization. I'm quite sure also from when we look back at what we have had from workshops and different activities, most of you will be able to check many of these boxes. It's a little silly exercise, but I'm sure we can manage to do that. And the idea is that we will we will do this pretty soon. As soon as we have polished the document, we will present this to all of you, and hopefully you feel that this is something that you can confirm that this is the things we have worked with in our project. Any questions to this? Okay, it's perfectly clear for everybody. And we primarily do this to please the Interreg system. And then, of course, we also have what we could call the key indicator for work package 2, the output indicator. The way we understood this when we wrote the application, then we kind of interpreted that each hub was our pilot. It's a little different from the normal logic in the Interreg North Sea system, where pilots are maybe individual tests of a technology or an approach or something that you try and test during the project period, and then you make a conclude if it's something that other partners or other stakeholders could make use of. But our idea was that our hubs in itself would be pilots or pilot actions, as they call it in the program. And what makes the pilots different are, of course, those differences we all know about, the different way of organizing, different local contexts, different maturity levels. So it's not just copy paste, it's adjustment on the local level that differs the one hub or one pilot from the other. So when we need to report on this output indicator, we need to sum up everything that we have done in each hub. We need to describe this process we have all been through from the kickoff until now, and reflect a little on what we have learned and where we have moved from when we started. We from the Work Package Management Group would suggest that we reuse the format that we had in the midterm report. So we kind of make a portrait of each hub and describe the process from the beginning until now in that format. And again, we will of course be in a kind of a dialogue with all of you, but I think we will try to make like a draft, and then you can add to that when we reach out to each of you. Again, there's not a specific format from the Interreg system how this needs to look, but I think for us, also kind of drawing on the feedback we have from the midterm report, we believe that format is the best way to describe what happened at pilot level in our project. So you will also be confronted with this during the fall after summer. Yes, thank you.
And I can just add here
Yeah.
that one of the questions we use for the hub pitches will be connected to this. So we, like Michael said, we will try to collect everything and do a draft and then share it with you, of course, so you can confirm the text. But one of the questions for the hub pitches will be connected to this learnings and reflections, as well as the one-to-one hub meetings we have with all of the hubs. So we try to fix the drafts, and then of course we will have a dialogue with you.
Yeah, and also this question, try to look back at when we started. What was the vision? What was the idea? Did you stay on that track, or did you maybe choose to go other ways or test other ways of developing your hub, or did something happen around your hub in your ecosystem that made it a better option to go another way than what you expected from the beginning? These processes, I think, will be interesting to document, and will also be very good maybe to give inspiration to other stakeholders, other potential hubs around us in the North Sea area or in other regions.
Mm.
And that's a strong focus from the program too.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Any questions to Michael? No? We move on with work package 3, and after work package 3 and Alistair, we will have a short break. Just want to let you know. But we continue first with Alistair and work package 3.
Yes, we will. Thanks. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. I was just thinking when Michael was saying that we do this and this to please Interreg, it is also part of the truth that we are able to develop this project thanks to Interreg. So it's obviously part of the deal that we progress the development of the hubs and to do research and learn from each other. But there's always something to be delivered, and that is simply part of the fair deal, in my opinion. So, yeah, just a small reflection to begin with. Let's have a look at the developments and the progress in the third work package, which is the one devoted to support and research in order to enable each other to progress in the project. In the next slide, I would like to report on what has been happening in Uni West in Trollhättan. Thanks to everyone in WP3 for sending me the updates so quickly. Anyhow, in Uni West, well, there's been a research report delivered on the topic of the part-time residents, and remember that because there's a good connection to some work that has been done by Eva in Aarhus. There'll be something coming out of that. Then we are happy to welcome Wilma Westin again, because she was very present at the beginning of the project, and she's going to start a project on public crime prevention and security with the focus on the municipality of Sotenäs. Then there's also been an interesting report written by 2 students looking across all of our outputs, or let's say all outputs, not with the Interreg gibberish meaning. Let's say all of our result documents have been analyzed, looking for fostering and hindering factors for multiple helix development. We'll be sharing that in the library soon, I hope. And in the coming months until the winter, there'll be new research assistants starting in the, I think it's a master's course. Emil, Per, correct me if I'm wrong. They will be available to take on new research assignments in SIRR. So please come up with or come to us with ideas, unsolved questions, whatever you think could be of use for your hub or for a set of hubs. They can look at that. And they'll be starting in September, so we probably have to be finalizing short descriptions of those research ideas or questions in the end of August. Okay, Per, good to go.
Yes, just a quick comment. I think we need update from Emil, if he can give us a little bit about availability of students and timelines and things like that. That's number one. Number two, I have not yet downloaded it because some more students did analytical work on various angles and components of part-time residents or second homeowners. So I will download those, and then that can be presented as part of the result as well. But Emil, do you have something to say about upcoming research assistants?
You're welcome.
Well, we are expecting a massive intake of students come September. The current numbers are around 400 applicants to our master's program for the coming year. If 400 will show up is a different question. But we are expecting an increase. Exactly who those people are, I don't know yet because I have not met them, but I intend to sit down with them when they start and to see what their interests are and what their backgrounds are, and if those can possibly be matched to the needs and the requirements and the what is desirable between all the hubs, and see if we can make some matches and see if we can have some students that were willing to do some good work here within the project.
That would be awesome. So we'll be setting up a SIRR assessment center to pick out the best. Oh, I didn't know it was going to be so many. Wow. Thanks for the extra info. And the last point on the slide here is obviously supporting the Uni West own Impact Hub. Okay, that's something that's ongoing activity. So now we move on to Aarhus. Is that the next slide? Yes, it is. Here we have to, and I think it's the first time that at least our new colleague appears in this big meeting. I would like to ask her to say hello, Mathilde Friedrich, if she is still there. I think she is.
I am, yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Just wanted to welcome you in this wider group here, and if you want to say a few words about yourself.
Well, yeah, I'm finishing up my PhD, and in between this, I'm part of this SIRR project together with Eva. And usually I research within sports science and understanding users. So it's a fairly new topic for me, but very interesting. Yeah.
I think it can relate to understanding users quite well.
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
So that'll be a great fit. We're happy to have you, and we'll be starting soon with one very specific project. That's the analysis of the logbooks. Thank you for sharing your ideas yesterday via email with Eva, and yeah, that is a hint and also a nudge towards the hubs. We know that. Some of you have been extremely detailed in describing and collecting everything that you've been doing throughout SIRR, but we also know that others haven't been as diligent. So from our side, also, I think Michael and Emma will be reaching out to you and giving you some ideas on how exactly that can work. So we have as good and as rich as possible analysis of these hubs, and we can track what has been happening throughout the SIRR project. Anyhow, I'm going back to the first bullet point here in the presentation. Currently, there has been visits to local SIRR hubs to continue supporting and strengthening the engagement with local actors. Also, there is a report that is the connection to what happened at Uni West with the focus on new residents. Eva wrote a report on why people move to rural and coastal areas in Denmark, Germany, Sweden, and France. And the proposal or the idea would be that we might be able to put something like a little attractiveness toolbox for the hubs. That's an idea we're going to be following in the coming months until the autumn. And I also think Dorte, the new colleague from Aarhus who we met in Leso, has established a new collaboration with a local hub, the Klimatorium. Right, that's most of it. Then if we go to the next slide, we will see what Julie sent us on the support of the CCPL. They're organizing a participatory process with online and analog components. They've been assembling a so-called global territorial diagnosis. Julie, can you tell us a little bit what that is? Because it does sound like you're trying to solve the problems of the world. That's like very something I'd support. But what is exactly the focus of the global?
It's probably just a misuse of the word global from the French to the English.
What do you focus on?
like it's like multi-thematic.
Multi-topic. Okay.
Well, multi-topic, yeah. Territorial diagnosis. So like mobility, housing, demography, economy. So lots of topics. So that's the use of global in French. But yeah.
And the territorial focus is on CCPL and
CCPL.
the neighboring only for them. Oh, okay.
CCPL, of course, in relation with the rest of the region, but yeah,
they're not
mostly
isolated. Yeah,
CCPL,
but the main focus is on.
We had elections in March, so it's just to project what's going to happen during the 6 or 7 years of the new mandate.
All right. That's interesting because we're having also municipal elections here in Lower Saxony in September, and I've heard in Sweden there's also going to be elections. And I think that this last bullet point you delivered is also quite interesting. You're developing a methodology to deal with elected officials. That might be something that is relevant for the other hubs that they can implement with their local politicians.
Yeah, we could share. It's actually it's that kind of territorial project is mandatory for big municipalities or group of municipalities, but the CCPL is doing it voluntarily. And so it's really to have a shared project for the next 6 years. And of course, we'll try to find the challenges that we have to face during those 6 years and how to address them best. And all of that, asking different stakeholders and partners with the elected officials at the center, but not the only ones. So yeah, we can share methodology.
It sounds like a topic for a Friday meeting and talk. Thanks for your application. Okay, thanks a lot. Now the last slide would be Marcelo and Eva's Holo House. He asked to be moved to the last. I hope your visitors have left for their sightseeing. Holo House has continued and will continue to help with the matching with students from Uni West, maybe from Göteborg. Then we are specifically working on an upgrade of what we call the storytelling tool. That is something that Marcelo programmed from the on their own website and included it in our SIRR website. And maybe he can share something with us on the topic. Is it a good moment?
Is it not loud here, anymore? But it's okay.
Okay.
They are eating breakfast, so we are in different rooms. I'm a bit sick also.
Sorry.
Mind you. But I don't know if I can even share screen. No, I can't.
No.
I can just wrap it up. We were basically discussing last time about the tool that it has a good structure, but that it could be having more like levels. I don't know if you could maybe give me permission to
the
share.
sharing rights. Emma, could you
then
make
it's
some
a
magic?
bit easier to just like show the difference, I think.
Oh no, it should work.
Thank you. Let me just find the right screen to share as well. So previously it looked like this. I still need to work on the visuals so that we have all the right logos and everything, but that's like the last step. It used to look like this. So it's basically, for those who haven't gone through it, it's a very like easy way to get started with your story, where you can go in and get some inspiration. There are examples and ways to create it. You have this storytelling wizard that you can then write into sort of get started. But as we discussed with Alistair and with Arne, it could be developed into a little bit more advanced storytelling. So when you already gotten inspired, done like your first steps, you could start developing the story further so that you make a more in-depth story. And we have like different types of questions then that you need to answer to develop it further. And then as we discussed, you could also, if you feel like you are not a writer yourself, you can use this prompt here to put into an AI so that you could get some critical feedback also so that you can develop it further. And it's not something that you have to do. And sometimes in storytelling, there is maybe information that is a bit more private or something. So you yourself decide what goes into the AI, and it's under your own command. And yeah, we also wanted to be able to go through these different steps then. So from beginner, intermediate to advanced, and so that you can also use it for potentially for your own work package, and you can send it into who is responsible. When you filled in the boxes here, you can then also generate a PDF, so it's all finished. I will also make it so that the official SIRR stamps will be on those notes that you have then made or written in this tool. I'm not entirely finished. It takes a bit of time to make this. I would like to add some, maybe if there is like some good YouTube clip or something like that, that could be a good example of how you write a good story or something like that. So if you have any suggestions of maybe somebody who is a good storyteller, some YouTube clip, or even a website or something, I could also add that. Other than that, you can also send me your own examples if you have some stuff finished, so I can add that to the tool. So yeah, it's a prototype as of right now, and then this is the old one that you can use immediately
Already
if you would like to. Yeah. Yeah,
Great, Marcelo. Muchas gracias.
De nada.
So the idea is basically that you get a quite interactive and usable interface where you can, put to practice what is lying around, and could be a good communication or a good story that showcases what happens in the hub or what the hub has enabled, has put into movement. And the idea is that it will have a specific spillover for the SIRR project. That is, when you press on the button on the last page, it will create this one pager that we could then consider a best practice one page, and then we can tick another box on the deliverables list from SIRR. Okay, last notes on Holo House. They've been optimizing the e-learning offers, and they have also developed a SDG follow-up analysis that will be put up in our SIRR web in the library soon, or has already been done. I think it's already in the news pages, but you'll find it in the library. Okay, that's that, and I think we are the next ones. Fistra in Fechter. Well, apart from coordinating all of this, we have been doing in the last months the following. We submitted an article to journal, which is based on the student work that two UniWest students did on hub governance. They did 8 or 9 interviews in France, Sweden, and Denmark, and we obtained quite good material, so hopefully they'll get published. I am currently interviewing experts that are validating, improving this framework on territorial transformative capacities. And yeah, we've been working on these templates that Charlotte and Michael have been showing you on the joint strategies and action plans. In the coming months, we will be holding a coordination meeting with WP3 partners. In the autumn, winter, we will be repeating the first survey we ever did in SIRR. It has two perspectives. Survey 1 was for the hub management, and survey 2 was for stakeholders, in order to also compare the beginning and the ending perspectives. And the territorial transformative capacities framework is going to be developed into another tool that you can use to assess the capacities of your hub, which will be done as a so-called maturity grid. And we've also been thinking to develop a video tutorial for you hubs to let's say work on the action plan, or to have some kind of a instructions video, tutorial video. Okay, that's that, and then there's a few slides on the output indicators. Well, as you know, the WP1 strategies and action plans have a hub focus, let's say an inside hub focus when it's when the strategy is about developing those new multiple helix structures and practices, how to remodel the hub, and then there's an outside perspective of the hub, that is the connection to strengthen the connection to your regional, local, extra regional, national, whatever innovation ecosystem. And then we have been thinking what could be a useful perspective and content for the action plan, the strategy and action plans that are focusing on WP3, and we came to the conclusion that the best focus would be to write about how you could long-term establish this that we have been doing throughout the whole SIRR project, and that is basically setting up a collaborative learning network with other hubs, with your stakeholders, with university, with businesses, with all kinds of sectors. So we've called it the SIRR Hub Learning Network Strategy, and you will get let's say a strategy which is already finished from us WP3 partners, and an action plan template for you to write actions as you know it from WP1. Okay, that's that. This slide, the next slide, is one that acts a little bit like a reminder. If you are, let's say, lost in translation, go back to this slide. This is where there's an explanation of the 3 strategies and action plan sets. How do they come to fruition? When do they have to be finished, and who is responsible for them? You will find all of that in this slide. One last slide reminds us the jump from the output indicators to the taking up of these joint strategies and action plans, and that's this document with a checkbox that Michael showed you before, and it's supposed to be signed per hub sometime between autumn and winter of this current year, 2026, or the beginning of 2027, because obviously we need some months in the project until September 2027 where we can, let's say, honestly state that you are taking up implementing those strategies and action plans. And I think that's it. We got to the break. Or do you have any questions about all of this?
Yeah, any questions? Tell us there.
Or to the other WP3 partners, obviously.
Okay. I can just clarify that this document you have to sign, there will be one document connected to work package 2 in the solutions, and another document were connected to the action plans and strategies, but with the same purpose that you sign it and say that we have started to adapt or started to implement the action plan. The work package 2 with the solution is one, and this is the second one. Any questions? Louise?
I have a short one. So the action plans. So for the VP3 one, We haven't gotten that one yet.
No, that's
But-
true. That's what Charlotte was saying, that we didn't want to overcomplicate things. We haven't
Yeah.
disclosed it yet.
So we're gonna get that at some point during the summer, I suspect.
Mhm.
And then we have to finish it before the end of fall.
Yes, that is the current assumption.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
I have great confidence in your writing skills, and especially because it's not going to be it's no long documents that have to be written in 20, 25, 30 pages. It's more like 5 to 10.
Yeah, we can try to keep them short and of course valuable for you as well. And there will be a video and we will support you doing it. And that's the plan and what we have to deliver in the SIRR project. Great, but I suggest if there are not more questions to the work package leader, that we have a break, a 10-minute break, so we can meet 5 to like 25, 10:25, and then we continue from there. But let's have a 10-minute break, and then we meet here again and continue with the rest part of the agenda.
Okay, see you in a second.
See you in 10 minutes. Cool. Oh, if people are back. Yep. Thumbs up. Great. We start with the rest part of the meeting today, and we will continue with the result indicators. We have already started a little bit to look into that, but there is one more thing to consider connected to the result indicator. Just to make sure people are back, but we have already talked about action plans and strategies, and this kind of document that you all have to sign and confirm that you have started to implement and take up these strategies and action plans. And we also have what Michael mentioned, the solutions that have been taken up, also documents that have to be signed. But we also have a third one. It's organization with increased capacity, and here we also need your support. So I just want to share some slides connected to this one and to give you an update what it is all about and also where we stand at the moment. And as you already know, we have an Excel sheet with a good overview of this indicator, what organizations we have already submitted and some partners we might reach out to and include. But so far we have reported 26 and the target is 70. So we still miss 44 organizations at project level. And we need your support to reach the target here. And just a reminder what it is all about. And first of all, I would really remind you or like to remind you about the seminar we had connected to this topic. It's a link in the presentation and it's in the team folder. We had a focus meeting when we went through more in detail what it means and examples of what it could be about and also how to do it. But here are some of the core things. So if or when we submit organizations with increased capacity, it's first of all, we have already submitted all the project partners in the project, so that's good. So the next step is external organizations or other organizations that have been have increased their capacity due to the SIRR project. And this could mean that they have taken part of several activities you have organized at hub level. It could be knowledge transfer, or they have been attending workshops you have organized or taken the e-courses or just have collaborated a lot with you. So it's back to the stakeholders you are collaborating with, but they have to confirm that they increased their capacity or they got some value out of the SIRR project as well. But it has to be more than one single activity they have been taking part of or one single e-course or let's say dialogue you have had with them. It has to be like several times they have done it. But there are some examples here what it could be about and more details in the presentation or the seminar we had connected to this. But how to do it? You have all seen this survey before. You have to fill in the survey or the organization. Most of the times, maybe we can support them filling it out, but of course, the external organization have to confirm it. We need their VAT number, and we also need to keep this survey for 10 years. And after we have filled in this survey, we also have to submit it in the OMS system, but that could be made by me, so you don't have to do it yourself if you not would really like to. Of course, you can do it yourself as well. And if you would like to do that, you find it in the OMS system. It's between the activity report and the financial report, you have the indicator model. And when you go in there and click on organizations with increased capacity, it's basically the same questions there as in the survey. But it's all fine for me if you just fix this survey with external organizations and send it to me, and then I can add it in the WMS system. But we need your support. As I said, the target is 70, and we still need 44 external organizations. And I also would like to highlight that this is not only connected to the hubs, it could also be the knowledge partners in the project that had collaborated with the external organizations that also increased their capacity or took part of several activities, or people attending the presentation and talks or similar. You can also find this overview in Teams. You can see where to find it on the screenshot down to the left. And the survey is also there, and I have also saved all the surveys already submitted in the folder. And this thing we can report on all the time. It's not connected to the specific reporting rounds, but we have done it like this because it's easier to connect it to report. But you can send the surveys in whenever you have them. And also what we said before, if you organize events with your stakeholders, it's also an opportunity, like meanwhile you organize it, to keep in mind to have the service with you. Michael?
Also, just a small hint, there's a good chance that those organizations or networks you report in work package 2.3, they might also fit in here, because if they're part of processes, there's a good chance that you will have had more than one meeting or one exchange with them. So if you look into work package 2, activity 3, look at those organizations you have been in contact there and see if some of them might fit with this indicator too.
Perfect. Any questions? All clear. Perfect. So we move on to reporting and the financial setup in the project. And report number 6 is not approved yet, but they have said that they will look into it this week. And the delay is due to some feedback we received for them, or things we had to get. Yeah, we had to fix some things before we could finalize it. But it's submitted, and we're waiting for its approval. And hopefully we will get it within soon, and right or directly when we get it approved. And as soon as we get the first payout, we will then do the payout to you as well. So the money is hopefully on its way. And also want to keep in mind the share cost we have in the project at 2.5%. And as soon as we get report number 6 approved, hopefully in June, we will start reporting round 7. So start to prepare. You already know what kind of questions in there, and you have also received a good update today based on the work packages and activities and what to focus on. And pay some extra attention to the activity indicators in work package 1, it's activity 2, and in work package 2, as you heard from Michael, it's activity 2 and 3, and also 5. And we would also, and this is connected to the hubs. And work package 3, Alistair will coordinate, but keep in mind the activity indicators there as well, because all of the knowledge partners can submit there, but this will be coordinated by Vecta. And we would also like you to pay a little bit extra attention to the target groups, because Interreg is really interested in that. Basically because we are a multi-helix project, so they're really looking into the stakeholders we have a dialogue with and include in the project and reach out to. And don't forget the result indicator about organizations with increased capacity. I will soon show you the overview of the deadlines and the times, like the schedule we have for reporting, but the deadline is the 15th of August for the report. And I know already before that it might take some extra time for the financial report. It depends on when the FLCs, the controllers are available, and it's summer vacation, these kind of things. So we are aware that maybe the financial report might need some extra weeks, but please try to prepare everything and reach out to your FLCs as well, so we can submit within deadline. Yeah, it comes here. So report number 7 covers the period from the 1st of October until the end of March. So you can already start now, even though the WMS system is not open, but hopefully it will be soon. And the deadline is the middle of August. Some reminders and some general feedback we have received from Interreg. So I just want you to keep this in mind. It's the state aid. We had a talk about that at the last digital meeting. I have an extra slide after this one connected to that. But please consider, if you're working with businesses or give them trainings or services, it could be that it has to be documented. But it's more on next slide, and I will go through briefly with you what it's about. Also, general feedback, please only or do one entry per invoice. So don't package many invoices together for one entry in the WMS system. It's one entrance per invoice. And also don't split any invoices into 2. So it's easier to follow the structure. And once again, gifts are not eligible, so we cannot include that. And also make sure that no personal data in the WMS system. You can use initials or a number for persons, you know that already, but no full names in there. And connected to the staff costs, they really would like us to use fixed percent. I think that's good for most of the process here, but just a reminder, use fixed percent and not the other option. So just be careful so you fill in the right thing there. And when you also add external expertise, they would like it to be linked to the application. So just make clear that you connected to like why you needed this external expertise to deliver what we have to deliver. But it could be just what is connected to the hub or whatever. But not only write a poster, then you write poster for this purpose or something. And also general feedback, just keep in mind that there is no double founding when working in different projects. And also consider, I don't think this is an issue for us, but also just keep that in mind when we communicate about activities in our social media channels or whatever, like what is a SIRR activity and what are like other activities. And also don't forget the EU flag when you communicate about the SIRR. But it's general reminders for all of us. And connected to the state aid rules, it's connected like if we work with businesses, and it's just to ensure that the money, like the EU money or public money, does not give unfair advantages to specific companies. So it's, for example, if they receive a course in something that they, without the SIRR project, would have, they had to pay for it, you know. I think this is not a big issue for us as well, but keep it in mind if there is like any additional value for the businesses taking part. It could be a state aid situation, and then we have to document it. It's not complicated, but we have to list then the companies we have been working with, and also write down what specific activity they took part in and what we provided them with. There is more about this in the Interreg fact sheets and also in the last digital partnership meeting we had with some more details connected to this. Questions regarding report number 7 so far? Or the general feedback? No. Just a reminder to make sure to allocate some time. I know it's summer vacation, and I know that many of you have a lot of things on the agenda before vacation and also many hub activities going on, but make sure to allocate some time for reporting now until August. But also like to share an overview of the budget left we have in the SIRR project. And this is after report number 6, but keep in mind that 5 partners submitted a SIRR claim in report number 6. In report number 7, it will be mandatory to do a financial report for all of you. But really briefly, what we can read out from this one here is that we should be around 60%. 5 reports are not there, so let's say that we should be around 50, 55 or something. And you can see for staff costs, for example, it's 23, and you can see staff costs of travel and accommodation and external expertise that we are actually a little bit low in the spending rate at project level. This is not partner level. So that's also why we actually have budget for the additional partnership meeting in Lysekil, which shouldn't be an issue. And coming up is that during this autumn, we will review the financial report in round 7 is mandatory. And it's also because during the autumn, we will once again look into the spending rate for all the partners. And we will also have a dialogue or meetings with you discussing also what, like your spending plan for the rest of 2027. And the reason why we do this is that we plan to do budget reallocations, like a major change in the budget in the end of the year. And this major change is also to reallocate money between between different project partners. And Interreg, they want us to use the money in the project, of course. They don't want to give money back because then it gets less money for the next program period. And also, of course, for our perspective, we also would like to use the money we have in the project. And so we will do a major change, and that's also why we would like to have a meeting with you, look into your spending rate. And it could be for some partners that you would like to do more in the project. Of course, it has to be connected to the application and create value for the project itself. But it could also happen that some of the partners, they realize that, okay, we don't need all the money, or we don't have internal resources to actually, to get or to use 100% of the, for example, staff costs we have. It could help with co-founding to do, but it could also help with internal resources in general. So we would like to have a talk with you also. So consider that now as well when you do report number 7. Consider or think about how much money you think you need and resources for 2027. And now when we do this reallocation, we would also look at it from the project perspective, both at the partner perspective, but also the project perspective. What things do we have to do to deliver what we have to deliver, and what could also add extra value connected to the SIRR and to get a high impact as well, and to spread the results. So this is a hint about what's coming up. after report number 7, we will review the spending rate for each partner, and we plan to do a major change in the end of the year, so it fits the partners and the project as well to make the best out of the budget we have. Questions? Nope. Good. Brief update from Interreg, and also reminder, but once again, they actually share many of our posts on LinkedIn, and they have also given us a lot of positive feedback about what we're doing in the SIRR project. They are really happy with what we're doing, both at the project itself, but also partners. So clap on the shoulder to all of you that they're really happy about the project. And also they're happy that we focus on resilience. That's a topic they like, and rural development, rural and coastal. But they're really active on LinkedIn. So if you don't follow them, you could also follow them there. They also have a lot of resources and fact sheets on their website, and it's actually good to go there from time to time to have a look. And they also organize a lot of events. For example, they have like control seminars in each country. If in case you have a new financial controller in your organization and they would like to learn how to report in EU projects, they organize that. And they also organize events connected to upcoming program periods or just to connect with other projects. And also now in June, they organize one event in Lille connected to call number 6, matchmaking. So if you're interested, you can go there and have a look about what they organize. And hopefully in the end of this year, let's see, they will publish, or they will share what the focus areas and objectives for the next program period will be about. And like for maybe projects we can apply for after SIRR if you're interested. And this will be a little bit the topic as well when we meet in Lysekil, what happens after SIRR. And if we're lucky, we know already then in November what the focus areas and objectives will be about. But we will be updated. And as I said, there's a lot of fact sheets connected to reporting, to staff costs, to state aid, and whatever. So if you have a question, you can always also go there and have a look at the resources they have. And they also have guidance connected to storytelling and these kind of things that we have also looked into. Just raise your hand if you have questions. Otherwise, I have a few last slides. Also, reminder connected to report number 7, we would like all of you to update your timelines in Miro. You have the link there, and you can also post it in the chat and the email I will send out after the meeting. And it's also a way to follow the development of the hubs and also to follow highlights from the knowledge and support partners in Work Package 3. And as we have said before, please focus on your own activities or the hub development activities or highlights for the support partners. And it's not really interesting to add annual partnership conferences, for example. We would like to follow your highlights locally. And as you have heard earlier today, and Alistair shared the link in the chat, we would also like you to update your logbooks. So don't forget to do that. Also connected to the reporting round. It's both good for us, and Aarhus will analyze the logbooks a little bit, but also good for you to get an overview about what you have done in the project. And also it supports you connected to reporting. For example, to the Work Package 2 activities connected to meeting with externals. Then you can use the logbooks for that as well to track the activities. But please update it before the end of or the middle of August as well. And you find your own logbook in Teams. Also, don't forget that we have our own channels as well. You find a lot of content on the SIRR website. You can both see all the upcoming events. Some of them for this autumn is already up there. You can read the news. And that's also something I really would like you to do, because it's so many things going on at project level, to keep an update about what's going on or other interesting news that could be of interest. And some of them, we have the newsletter as well. I hope you find it valuable with the newsletter and read it. But in the news here, you can find a little bit more content connected to some of the things. And we also have the library there, where you can download, or you have the storytelling toolkit, for example, and you can also download different kind of analysis or reports or communication materials and these kind of things. And also LinkedIn, of course, don't forget to repost things or just have a look at LinkedIn as well. And tag SIRR if you do something connected to the SIRR project. My last slide, a little bit, did you remember in coming up, just to summarize what we have been through and some deadlines and dates. So we have report number 7, don't forget that. We have the timelines and the logbooks we would like you to fill in and update. The organizations with increased capacity, have a look into that. And also if you have some news, like some highlights or things going on at local level, please send them to me and I can add them to the newsletter. It would support me a lot to make sure we have good content for it. And it's really good for the others to be aware about what's going on within the partnership. And we have some upcoming events. Tomorrow we will talk about call number 6. And it's about scaling up output and impact. So basically scaling up, for example, from SIRR, it could be the action plans, but it could also be outputs from other Interreg projects. More about that tomorrow for those who are interested in call number 6. We have the first presentation and talk in the end of August. We will within soon send out calendar invitations to you. The hub pitches in September. We have digital partnership meeting. I can see I haven't added the Lysekil, the additional meeting, but that's also on the list. But you will soon receive calendar invitations, and most of the events are already up on the SIRR website. Great. Some questions or reflections? Or someone that would like to add something? No? Yeah,
maybe it's just a small thing I was noting with the indicators in the reporting. Have I completely missed something, or is the 2.3 indicator new?
It's not new, but it's the first time we have asked you all directly to consider it. Because before we have kind of concluded based on what you reported in your activities or what you reported in the hub pitches, and then we have asked the individual hubs to document some of the things. But now we think we are mature enough to focus on that also from the individual hubs by themselves, because we are so far into the project.
Okay, so it is technically sort of a new focus point for this upcoming.
Yeah, you can say that. It's been there all the time, but we have never asked you all directly to do it.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question. Any other questions? No, you can always reach out if you have any more specific questions or need, if you are confused connecting to the the deliverables now in port number 7 as well, connected to the indicators. Just reach out. And I will also send you an email after this meeting. We have recorded it. We will upload it on the website in case you missed some parts or would like to listen to it again. And I will also share some main things and activities coming up in an email after this meeting. But otherwise, I wish you a great day. And I hope to meet some of you tomorrow for the call number 6 meeting, and also looking forward to the one-to-one meetings with the hubs we haven't had yet. And also we have the wrap-up session, the 16th of June. So thank you, everyone. And I don't know, Charlotte, Alistair, Michael, if you would like to add something.
No, I think we're very full with information.
Yeah.
Just reach out if there's anything connected to different packages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And let's make the most of the last year and a bit of SIRR. It's coming to an end slowly. Don't want to get depressive.
Time flies. And as we said, we are here for you to support you as well. And yeah, good, Alistair. We have to, it's only one year left and some months. We have to make use of the opportunity we have now in the project, working
One
together.
thing. If any, just to remind maybe of if anybody has something they would like to share in presentation and talk, or if they have an idea of something they would like to listen to, a topic or challenge or whatever. That is also relevant for us to, because the it's not full for the schedule is not full, right? For the fall, there are still slots available.
Exactly. There's lots available. So if you have a suggestion of a topic you're interested in, you can reach out. And also reminder what you heard earlier today, that it is a possibility also to have students, if you would like to dig deeper into specific challenges or topics or connected to some work you're doing. Please then don't hesitate to reach out as well, and we can look into the opportunities. But great. Otherwise, thank you for today. It was nice meeting you all, and yeah, have a nice rest of the day and week.
You too. Bye.
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 Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Ja, det gick väl bra med.
Ja.